All right, on to the next one. Oh, looks like we're on a storm. We're on a storm. All right, let's jump into storm. Ashento, wind mastery, 30 health. In my opinion, wind and lightning are some of the better masteries in the past. I know water right now is getting a big push with things that are like, if you have consistent water buffs out in play, do all this stuff. Like that was one of the staple archetypes that they wanted to push in this new Kindred set. So water could be good, and for all I know, air is just going downhill. But right now, from what I'm seeing, air, solid. I still love the air cards. They're very beneficial for bringing that support. The Dusk Fiend for helping pay for your combos, Thunder Slug for the buff removal, all this stuff. Like it's the one, like I said, support, damage, healing. That's what this should be. So we have 30 health, base health, perfect. When you play 2 beast cards in one turn, you may rotate one of your action buffs 1 step forward. This can only be triggered once per turn, which is fine, because unless you're playing 4 beast cards in a turn, how can you really trigger it? But once again, with beasts, from what I've seen, beasts are very aggressive. So this is a very aggressive archetype, and I think this is going to be the beast hero for the storm alignment. We've seen the beast hero for... actually, we haven't really seen the beast hero for nature. We saw insect hero for nature, but I'll get back to that because I know there is a beast hero for nature. It's the mythic one. But we saw the beast hero for astral, so I really like the fact that there's a beast hero for each set that has beasts in it, that really wants to make you play a beast deck, like a beast-oriented deck, without saying, oh, you know, which hero should I just top in? No, it's obviously going to be this hero with a beast family. Like, it's plain and simple. They want you to build these families with these family heroes. It's fine. It's fine. And no one's like, man, it's very, one train thought. No, it's fine. I mean, it helps you with deck construction. It helps you with all this stuff. If you had like 6 heroes to choose from, it'd be like a whole convoluted mess of how to build a deck around what hero's better. And then eventually it would just come down to, no, this hero's the best. This is the best deck to play. Just go with it. This is your Dolo of beasts. Like, having it cut down to 1 really doesn't bother me at all. It really doesn't make me say this is too limited. It's fine. I've already played beast deck. I've already played a bunch of this stuff. I love the archetype. But when you play 2, you get to rotate one of your action buffs forward. To me, it's not as good as the draw card. If it's if it's like a beast, you get to rotate one of your buffs 2 steps forward or something like that. So it's not like, oh, it's raining again. Oh, my power doesn't cut out. Cut out last night when it was raining. But yeah, it's still play 2 beasts in a turn, rotate one of your action buffs. So it's going to be one of those beast types where you're going to want to build a good hand, utilize your hand to then just have explosive turns. The Blue Storm Beast is going to make you feel like you want to have those big turns that you lead up to, that you build your hand size up. A lot of blue has card draw. It's going to be nuts. I mean, you don't even have to play wind. Therapeutic Eel is a beast now. Lay that, deal 3 damage, draw 3 cards. So you got card draw. Lay another card. You've technically played 2 cards and drawn 3 that turn. A benefit of 1 card, you get to rotate one of your action buffs 1 step forward. And a lot of these blue action buffs with multiple corners on them, at least 3 or 4, you have not seen a whole lot of play, which I'm really hoping you see a lot of play now around, especially with a lot of this buff speeding up, where it's not like, oh, it sits out there, it's buff bait or buff kill removal. It's going to be some really strong cards that you can rotate through really fast to have cards in there that you have never seen before, which is what I'm super excited about, is bringing the old cards back that we just didn't see play, come in and see like, wow, this card's actually extremely good. It just never got to make it to its 4th corner before because there was not a whole lot of cards that made them rotate really fast. So I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about this card and this archetype. I'm going to go ahead and say this is a 4.5 star card. Just because he's limited to the beast archetype, so obviously you're going to want to build a beast type around him. But beasts, I think, are going to be so much fun. It's going to lead to an aggressive style. They're not even really saying, when you play beast, you can play multiple ways. No, they're straight ahead saying, when you play beast, you're playing aggro. You're going straight ham at the face. There's no other way to play it. We're going to just utilize that. We're going to go full forward with this gimmick. We're going to make you have fun with it. And that's what I love. That's what I want to have with an archetype, to have one archetype, one family, where it's just, okay, I know what I'm doing with this family. Build the deck. Just go ham. This is what you got to look out for. Don't worry about it. And really going with that, the family gimmick where beasts, where you just deal this damage, rotate your buffs, all this stuff, it's so good. It's such high-powering effects that I'm really happy that beasts are getting it, because a lot of the beast cards that I think they reprinted are like the ones with 3 or 4 corners on them. So we need those buffs to start rotating quicker to have more of that potential damage. Otherwise, a family that they made want to be aggressive is just going to kind of be a stall, where you lay this card and you're like, all right, cool. In 3 turns, I'm going to deal like 7 damage to you, but you can't wait. And then you have to play more defensive because all your cards that were trying to put pressure on him your opponent wasn't that afraid of. And now you're like, well, God, this is boring. But with this, getting yourself rotated quicker, like I said several times, and I'll keep repeating myself, is going to be able to put the pressure on so much quicker for you to really get your aggression out and make your opponent go on the defensive while you can just, throw a griffin at him. Because who doesn't love throwing griffins at people, right? Throwing anything at someone's face is like, it's hilarious. Tables, cupcakes, whatever you want to do, you just throw it at their face. All right, that's my take on this. 4.5. I think he's right up there. Depending on how Beast goes, he could be pushed up to a 5-star card, but because he's so limited, where he has to be in a certain type of deck, that's why he's not an all-rounded amazing card. Quitu! Is that how I say Quitu? I don't know. If anyone wants to type the phone in how to pronounce that name, I'll more than pronounce it for you. Lightning Mastery. Lightning, I feel, is a very good mastery or alignment supremacy to have, because Lightning is just, that's your damage. That's the one that you're going to want to Spark Whisk, Crackling Beast, all this stuff to really push damage, really get that burst out, really make your opponent be worried about their health total. 29 health means that you're probably not worried about your own health total. You want to go ahead and, therapeutic heal yourself, bring yourself down to, and just hammer at your opponent while not worrying too much about your health. Your water cards are just there for whatever. You don't care about having a high health total. All right, ability. Draw 1 card face up. If it's a lightning card, deal 1 damage to your target. This cannot be increased by effects. I mean, with lightning being so aggressive, it is nice to see card draw, which is fine. But with blue, with like Hurricane Spirit, with Therapeutic Heal, I feel like it has enough cards in there with good card draw to really not care about this ability that much. If it was healing, I'd say totally. If it was heal you for 1, draw that card, awesome. I think that's what a Lightning Master needs is heal, because your lightning cards are going to be your damage. You don't care about using it to draw for 1 and dealing 1 damage. Maybe you want that poke damage. Maybe you want to get through a mountain fort. Maybe that's what you're using it for, or whatever. But I feel like drawing the card and doing the damage with an alignment like lightning is not going to be that beneficial as it would have been to, like, say, heal for 1, where when you're playing all this damage, you want to have some way to recover on the offside while you're drawing your cards and doing all this stuff. Unless I'm just being completely wrong and you want to be consistently applying the pressure with 1 damage while drawing a card. Tell me if I'm wrong right now. I don't know. But I feel like Lightning Mastery on its own is powerful for aggro. 29 health, you're not going to worry too much about it. Blue has the strongest healing in the game. Confused Shaman, Vitalizing Frog, Delivery Crab, even Bubble Ship. Their Bubble Fish is the best defensive bubble, their defensive wall in the game, in my opinion. It has no limitations. It's 2/3/3, already better than Monsters Defender. Yakona Oracle, you have to wait a turn before you get the benefit. Like, all this stuff, it's one of the most solid walls in the game to put up. And the thing is, like, for this Lightning deck, the way they're building these cards out right now, Lightning has been actually less aggressive and more into tempo with, like, Electric Moat and stuff where it's like, okay, if you deal damage to me or with an attack, I'll deal it right back to you. They have, Storm Shaman for really big burst damage. So for all I know, this ability is actually really good, and you're going to want to use this ability early game to build up your hand size while slowly chipping away at your opponent, and then all of a sudden you just hammer them with like 27 points of damage for your lightning cards that you're going to want to all lay in 1 turn. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about this card wrong at the beginning, and after talking about it in my head, it could be a really potentially strong card. I want to say it's a 4-star card. Right off the bat, 4-star, very solid hero power, very solid supremacy. It's one of those cards where it can be placed into decks because of its very universal hero power, and lightning supremacy obviously will be in a very damaging deck. So it's not a deck where you really want to build it around a hero. You could put this hero into a lot of storm decks that just run maybe some good lightning cards. You don't know. I don't know. So yeah, it's a well-rounded card, very I'd say very well worth the craft. If you don't have it, craft it, depending on how much you love Storm. But I do think this is a very solid card. It's something that Storm needed, especially a lot of their other cards were like, if you heal for 3, deal 1 damage. Or, every Storm card that I saw before that had something to do with combos, had something to do with healing. It was very defensive playing. There wasn't a whole lot of aggressive with Storm, and Storm is a very aggressive archetype. It's a very aggressive style. They have the best healing and the best damaging in the game. Storm Shaman increases your stuff by 4. Like, that's nuts. I've seen people pull out like 19 damage just from 2 action cards, just because of that. It blows me away just seeing how much potential can come from Storm in healing and damage, and that's why I think that Storm and the Wind is so diverse and so controlling. Like Storm should be one of the best elements, one of the best alignments in the whole game, but it was trying to do so many things, in my opinion, that it didn't have the very good foundation that Nature had, or that Astral had, or that Storm had, or even that Dread had, where it was like it was a great alignment, or great element, Storm, that was good to be spliced into everything, but building it on its own, there were only like 2 or 3 different ways to do that, and I feel that like hopefully now with Kindred coming out, people can start building really solid just Storm decks and putting stuff into Storm as opposed to the other way around. So with this, I feel like very strong hero power, very strong alignment. 29 health doesn't matter too much because blue has some of the best healing. Solid card, 4-star card. Saying it right now. Lone Shark Refeed. Wind Mastery, awesome. 28 health. Okay, we'll see how that goes. What am I getting here? Okay. Okay. So its ability, reduce damage received by 1 while you have no buffs in play. This cannot be increased by effects. I like this. I think that Storm has been trying to run several gimmicks all at once, dealing with combos, dealing with no buffs in play, dealing with your opponent has no buffs in play, all of this different type of stuff that they have like 1 or 2 cards of each of them, and like they have their hands dipped in like 10 or 15 different gimmicks that they want to compile, and they have never really had a way to put it all together to actually have a deck built around that one thing, where this one, give a hero it, and you'll say, okay, if this hero has this ability, I want to start doing this. I want to actually build a deck that maybe has very limited to no buffs. That way I can reduce damage. So like even without Bubblefish, all the damage reduced to me is by 1, which means my health can be lower and I don't care. I don't care for my 28 health because as long as I don't have buffs in play, everything is reduced by 1. Dread becomes almost minuscule with its poke damage, does nothing. You're really only worried about decks that deal heavy hitting major damage. In which case, run Vitalizing Frog, run Storm Shaman, run all this stuff where it's just big spike healing, because the only damage you're worried about is spike damage. So I think this card is great. I think this is a very well-rounded card, even for being uncommon. I feel like a lot of people are going to play this card, play it in a lot of Storm decks. I mean, this is, like I said, this deck, or this hero, gets a good benefit from a certain type of deck that we have not seen from Storm yet, because every Storm wants to lay a Storm Shaman, or Mari Bard, or Thunderslug, or, you know, Bubblefish, or Turtle Captain. They want to have buffs out to do all this crazy stuff. Now we're looking at a hero that's like, okay, what if I don't want to have buffs out? What if I want to just attack, do all this crazy stuff, like combos that are just attack, like start controlling your opponent's hand while attacking, and then you have a base damage prevention. So you can run a whole deck that's just attack and defend. Obviously, Thunderslug is your buff removal, which is a buff. So laying those makes it so you don't get that damage prevention, which are like, okay, if I'm removing your buffs, that's my weak part. But it's like, okay, I'm weakening myself to detrimentally affect your field, which is nuts. I feel like this hero alone is going to be a 3.5, maybe even a 4.0 star card, because I feel just with that, with Storm's potential defend, healing, and attack damage, they don't really care about running that much buffs. So it can be made its own deck. It can be spliced in with other alignments, other elements, to bring more attack and more defend in, which you don't really need to look at the buffs. It's a very unique hero, and I'm very excited to see what people come up with it. I think I'm going to go with a 3.5, not quite a 4, because a lot of this game is very heavy around buffs. This game is very focused on, this is our main mechanic, which is buffs, which is what makes the game unique, along with combos. So I feel like a lot of the good cards are going to be buffs, which means you're not going to have, you know, the damage increase, the damage prevention, all the stuff that you really want. But it could be a fun aggro deck to just play, you know, Dust Fiend, Spark Wisp, Crackling Beast doesn't work really in this deck because you have to remove a buff. The Cloud, that it's like if your opponent has no buffs in play, deal 6 damage or something like that. Really, all this damage from attack and defend, really, like I said, limitations spawn creativity. And if you're limited to not put as much buffs in your deck, you're going to want to look at attack and defend cards. You want to look at items that maybe can deal stuff for you, which is where your damage is going to come. Which is where I think this hero is really not that detrimented by its ability to say, hey, I'm better without buffs, let's see what we can do with it. So I feel like a 3.5 is a perfect rating for this card, where it's like, it's a solid card. You might see at the beginning of the meta, test some stuff out, really get to know these cards. If everyone's doing minuscule damage, have this card basically prevent all of it while you have none. It's going to be great. I think it's going to be a good card. I think it'll be fun to play with. Morani the Wind Shear. All right, we got Wind Mastery, 30 health, solid card. Whenever you play a combo, you may remove one beast buff from another hero. I do like the fact that Storm is very, very oriented on doing stuff when you play combos, when combos are late, or when combos are in the top of your graveyard. However, I don't know. Like I said, Beast is within 3 colors, so it's in half of the alignments. People might start splicing it in, but if you... Like, I just don't know how good the Beast cards are going to be outside of Beast decks. So I don't know whether or not this hero is going to be good. It's a very situational one. You only get to do it 5 times minimum. Storm has so many fun ways to bring combos back. It's a ton of fun, and I can't wait to try and build all the Storm fun decks. But, like, half the time he's just going to be a 30 health hero with Wind Mastery. So depending on, like I said, he's right now a 2-star card for me, 2-star, because he's not a bad card. He's just extremely situational in the point where the only time you're going to run him is if you are playing on ladder or playing in tournaments, and you are consistently going up against decks that are utilizing strong beast buffs, that are utilizing beast cards in such a way where you're like, having this extra buff removal is really good. Mind you, you could run Cold Snaps, you could run your own Thunder Slugs, like you have buff removal beyond buff removal, but having your combos also be a slight buff removal is an added bonus. But being so situational to one of the 10 families out there, it's not going to be a very common card. It's not going to be a very impactful hero to the game as a whole right now, which is why I'm saying 2-star card, has potential spike, potential for gameplay, but it's not something that we're going to see consistently, unfortunately. But I mean, that's why these conditional cards are made. That's why sideboards are made, to have it. Obviously, you can't sideboard a hero. That's wrong. But it's like, hey, you know, you go into these tournaments, all of a sudden you see U.S. Nationals, UK Nationals, 9 out of the 10 deck lists all beasts. You're like, huh, all right, I'm going to run this guy. We're going to have some fun. We're just going to start pooping on everyone that's playing beasts. So we'll see. We'll see how this all goes. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. We'll see. We'll see. I feel like this is one of the heroes that you splice into a deck that's already working, but he's going up against a lot of bad matchups where you want to remove beasts. That's it. That's it. Navigator Scuttle. Now this is the one that came in... Oh, D Malone, I'm probably going to be streaming for a good amount. I mean, after Storm, I got Tech, and then I had the Mythical Hero, so I'll be on here for, good lord, another hour or so. Like, I'm just going through the heroes today. I probably will do another stream that'll just be like top 10. I'll probably have highlight videos. I won't really stream it. I'll just do videos for top 10. But, I mean, these streams, just talking about stuff, they're like 3 or 4 hours long. I already know that, and I'm sorry if I didn't put that in disclosure of how these long are going. You can obviously come back later, watch it later. I'll put it on Twitch for recaps. Hopefully my YouTube channel will be up, and I'll put these all on YouTube. I'll start splicing them into sections for the alignment heroes and whatnot. I'll put highlight videos up. But this, I mean, these review videos can go between 3 and 4 hours long. So if you gotta go ahead, man. It's fine. You can come back and finish it up later, because I still got half a Storm, all of Tech, and all of Mythical to review. And I plan on just sitting here for a few more hours and just talking about it, getting this video up and getting my own opinions on it before I go into the next stuff next week about the cards and about the other alignments. So yeah, I mean, if you're enjoying it, awesome. But if you gotta go, I don't blame you, man. These videos are gonna be long. I try to only play and stream for like 2 or 3 hours, but yeah, these discussion ones, these are gonna be long videos. These are gonna be ones where I literally just sit here for hours on end and talk, and my voice is gonna go sore. So yeah, I mean, I hope you're enjoying it. I hope I'm giving some good feedback. But I don't blame anyone if they gotta go, or if they just want to listen to it in the background. Whatever you gotta do, man. So, all right. Oh no, not right. What do you mean not right now? Oh, cool, D Malone, awesome. I'm glad to see you're here with me. But yeah, I mean, if I'll be here for at least another hour and a half, because I got to go through another set and then the mythical ones, and I got a lot to say about them, so I might even be here for 2 more hours. You never know. But yeah, I hope you guys are at least enjoying this. Hope I'm giving some good feedback. Hope you're even taking notes or whatever you want to do. Do what you got to do. Come back to it if you want. Love to get some feedback from you. But this is just my opinion. Haven't looked at the whole set. Straight out, just valuing the card for the card. So, all right, Navigator Scuttle. It's the one that comes in the Storm Hero base deck. 29 health, Water Mastery. So right now, it's going to have a lot of healing, a lot of defense. 29 health doesn't really matter that much. That's what I'm seeing just from that. Draw one card whenever you play a combo that requires 2 or more water elements. That is just a solid ability. I mean, there are so many cards out there for especially the combos that have double water mastery, and they've even added a lot more where it's 2 water, 2 lightning, or flood, which is 2 water, or what was it, muddy water, which is 2 water and deals damage. Like, you can have all 5 combos have 2 waters in there, and then you draw a card. So essentially, you draw 2 cards for every combo you lay if you build your deck like that. That's awesome. Even if you only have 3 combos like that, where you draw 3 cards, and then because of Storm and because of all the cards in Storm that I've seen and have seen in the past, you play your combos so many more times than other alignments because you have so many more ways to get your combos back into your deck. Even one of the combos says shuffle all the rest of your combos back from your discard pile into your deck so you can replay them again. So having this hero to literally draw you an extra card every time you play a combo makes me super happy about this card. It makes me love this card to death. Obviously, like I said, it's situational, so you're going to want your combos to have 2 water in them. Fine, whatever. But drawing card, any card game, love it so much better. I'm going to go ahead and give this guy a 4.5 star rating. He's not quite a 5 because you pretty much do the same thing. If I did look at some of the new Kindred cards, the Kindred Storm Mask literally says draw a card when you play a combo. Just because of that card, I docked this guy down a half a point because this one is required you to play 2 combos or 2 water elements in your combo. Where the mask, you can equip it, you can give it to any hero you want, and you draw a card whenever you play a combo. Like, that's nuts. That's extremely nuts for Storm. So he does require a certain deck to get full benefit out of his power. But like I said, for having him be your base starter, having him be water, where water is utilizing your healing, so your low health doesn't matter that much, I think he's just a solid hero. And I feel like he can be swapped out to almost any Storm deck you want to run. As long as you run, I'd say 2 combos. 2 combos that have 2 water in them. Sorry about that. Cold Snap has 2 water. Muddy Water has 2 water. Flood has 2 water. I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff that I'm not even thinking right now, but I mean, the water aspect is one of the better ones for Storm to have. And having your combos with 2 waters is just going to be a solid deck. You're going to want to run a lot of them that have 2 waters. So I'm just saying, he's a solid hero, solid passive ability that's going to help you draw cards when you need to play combos or when you do play combos. Solid hero. Going to see a lot of him, even if he gets replaced by someone who does something better and you run the mask or whatever you want to do. But he's just on his own. Good hero, good potential. I love him. Shoal Slayer Bosco. Water element, 30 health again, completely fine. Now, when you play a combo, you may move an item from your deck or discard pile to your hand. Let me tell you about this, guys. Oh my god. If that just said from your deck to your hand, that would be nowhere near as good. But it's also your discard pile. Now, I have already built a deck with this guy, and I am super excited to test it out. I don't even know if it's going to do well. I really don't. But I want to give this guy a 4.5 star rating. Even he's borderline 5 star for me. He doesn't have limitations on his combos. So any combo you do will make you look for an item card. So it made me want to build an extremely combo-oriented deck. So it runs, the ones that bring your combos back, so you can lay them multiple times. But what makes this so good is there is an item, the unaligned item, which says defendability, rotate one of your buffs 1 step forward. So it's already good on using it for yourself. But you can also do it on another opponent. And if you do it on an opponent, you shuffle that item back into your deck. Which means, okay, I'll make one of your opponent's buffs go away faster than they wanted it to, shuffle that back into my deck, next turn, lay a combo, bring that item to my hand, and then I can play it next turn. Now, just thinking about it in that sense is really good. In another sense, anything that fetches for a card in a card game to limit your deck down to drawing the cards that you want them to, as opposed to drawing cards that you could just put into your hand, is so insanely powerful. I'm not even kidding. And because it's okay, it can also be from your discard pile, with the new cards out there, the new unaligned one says destroy a weapon if it's not a supremacy weapon. So you can go to your discard pile. Okay, you can destroy any weapon you want. I'll play a combo and bring it back to my hand. Therefore, weapon removal doesn't matter to this guy. Like, this guy is his ability is so universally strong with the right weapons and in the right deck. And it's not even like, hey, you play a combo that's like a 3 or 4 cost or do something. It's just whenever you play a combo, you fetch for a card. And card fetch in any card game is such a high quality. It's right up there with card draw. Like, you thin your deck down to get to the cards you want to faster. And if you can fetch for the cards you want, even better, even better. But like, with Storm's ability to lay several more combos than other decks because of how much they cycle their combos back into their deck, how many times they play them, do all this stuff for crazy stuff, I think this guy is going to see a lot of play. This guy is probably, like I said, he's 4.5. He might even be a 5-star card, which is strange to see an uncommon card. But hey, Cassini was run as an uncommon as Astro card way over every other Astral hero, like all this other stuff. Like, it's such a good base passive hero ability to fetch for cards that can allow you to do other things while laying cards. Like, that on its own, I think, is a very undervalued until you start playing these card games and realize how important it is to just look for a card in your deck and put it into your hand. That's nuts. I mean, for this, you could even run like 2 or 3 weapons just for the weapon. You don't need the color alignment. You don't need nothing. Just the weapon. Search for it, put it in your hand. Next turn, it goes into play. Okay, they kill it. Cool, I lay this combo. Bring that weapon you just spent your turn killing back to my hand. Cool. Nice job, bro. You wasted a card, and I played a combo on you and got my weapon back. Like that. Just having it say from the discard pile is so nuts. It's so overpowered to me that if it was just from your deck, it would be fine. It would be fine. It would be down to like a 3.5, maybe 4, just for fetch. But because it's from your discard pile too, it negates your opponent from even wanting to say, is it worth killing? Is it worth killing that item that he's just going to get back? Like, even with General Carnage, you hurt yourself for 2 to put an item on the top of your deck. So then you had to draw it. Like, it was one of those, like, okay, I hurt myself to fetch for a card that doesn't even go right into my hand right away. I have to literally spend my entire turn just to bring an item to my hand. This one is literally, I play a combo that has a major effect on the game, major effect on the board, your health point, all this stuff, while I get to bring that item to my hand. Not even the top of my deck, to my hand. Like, just in comparison with all these other heroes, that's nuts. That power level is broken to me, and that's why this guy gets a 5-star rating from me, because he is so strong. He is so good. Just if it was, I mean, even if it was like an ability, like if to dumb him down to kind of like make sure he wasn't broken, like I said, take out the discard pile, or have it be a defend ability or just an ability. If there is a combo card on the top of your discard pile, fetch for an item. Like, if it was something like that, that's fine. But it's a passive ability, looks through your deck and your graveyard pile to get an item and put it into your hand. Like, so much positivity out of this card. You're going to see this card played by Storm so much. Like, like I said, I already built the deck around this guy. I think he's going to be tons of fun. I don't know how well it's going to do, but just the concept of the deck, I feel, is going to be amazing, and I cannot wait to play it on my weekly tournaments. Get it into the game to have you guys see how it does. It's going to be tons of fun. This guy gets a 5-star rating for me. He's going to be so good. I have a feeling everyone's going to be playing this guy, and for an uncommon hero, everyone's going to have access to him, which is even better. All right, Spark Sale 2.0. 2 alignments, perfect. 28 health means you don't really care about health. You can heal for a bunch. Ability: discard a combo to heal for 6. All right, this guy is like, I mean, he's good. I'm going to say it, he's good. You have 2 alignments, which means you're already going to be able to manipulate your deck to a point where you can do all this fun stuff. I've already seen people online say, I cannot wait to run a deck with all the impressive stuff, like Impress Sledgefin, 3 healing, deal 5 damage to your opponent if the top card of your deck is discard, or if the top card of your discard pile is a combo. So utilizing his ability to discard a combo to heal for 6, then lay an impressive card to have it get its benefit on the same turn that you just discarded a combo to heal for 6 is going to be nuts. Impressed Seahorse does 7 damage if the top card of your deck is a combo. So you discard a combo, heal for 6, lay Impressed Seahorse, deal 7. So that's a 13-point swing in one turn just for using an ability and laying a card. I mean, I would say this card gets a 4-star rating. He's going to be a lot of fun in Storm, especially with all the, like I said, all the stuff for Storm that lets you recycle your combo cards back into your deck. Because even late game, this hero to me utilizes, hey, I don't care if I can't pay for my combos late game, they're still going to have a benefit for being in my hand. They're going to heal me for 6. I'm going to have a way to put them right on top to then utilize my cards that allow me to just blow you up. This card could be a very fun card to build a certain type of deck around that utilizes all of this fun, if the combo's on top of your deck, deal an increased damage. There's several buffs out there that are just consistent for Storm that, like, what is it? It's like the Bug Rider, that if the next time you would deal damage, if a combo's on top, deal 3 more damage. There's that's the Storm Whisperer, deal stuff when you play combos, but like stuff like that just increase stuff as combos are on top of your deck, is going to be a fun archetype to play in Storm. I feel like that card gets a 4-star rating just because, I mean, it's a common hero, dime a dozen, 2 mastery, awesome, heal for 6, so even if you start the game, discard a combo you're never going to play or whatever, you're already at 34, so his health doesn't matter. And then you can utilize something for, like, Seahorse. That's a 13-point swing on turn 1. Done. That's incredible. Like, being able to use his ability for spike heals like that, for late game to get your combos in your graveyard when you can't pay for them, to activate impressive stuff, is going to make this guy really fun to play. It's going to make him a very unique style, where it's almost like you don't want to lay your combos, you just want them in your graveyard to do stuff with while they're on top. I think people are going to have a lot of fun with it. I think it could even potentially be really strong. I think it's one of those where, like, you don't underestimate, or where you are going to underestimate its power value until it starts going off, and you're like, oh, he's not laying combos, he's just healing a lot from them. Crap. Like, every combo becomes a Vitalizing Frog. Think about it that way. Every combo in your deck that you don't want to play or that you can't play becomes a Vitalizing Frog. That's a staple for almost any blue deck, because Vitalizing Frog is heal for 6. That's so nuts! Like, if this was heal for 4, meh, it wouldn't be that good. But heal for 6, along with discarding a combo, along with all the impressive stuff that, like, just so much card synergy is going to make this guy, for being a common hero, very common to see on ladder or on board. Just he's going to be a very strong Storm hero. Just like in that archetype, even if it's like even in any other deck, it's like, okay, I still have I'm losing health really fast. I have a combo I can't lay. Use it as a Vitalizing Frog. That's what it is. That's what they become, just because he's your hero. Like, that's really good, and I think that people are going to use him a lot for late game, for Storm push. And Storm, I love seeing all these new Storm heroes. I think it's going to be really great to see these come out, and with all this damage potential, it's going to be awesome to see new Storm archetypes, as opposed to what I said before, where Storm has always kind of been splashed in here and there, and it's never really been one of those its own alignments. So with all these really cool, really fun heroes, it's going to be awesome to see a lot of Storm heroes really push the Storm element into the spotlight, really start seeing these fun decks, and I really think that those heroes that I gave 4-star ratings or higher to are going to be the ones to look out for, are going to be the ones to look at and go, alright, let's get our hands dirty and play some Storm. And I cannot wait to see what people come up with this for that. Alright, so that's it for Storm. We're on to Tech. So bear with me, guys. Tech is coming, then we got Mythic Heroes, and I cannot wait to talk about Mythic Heroes. So let's get right into Tech, shall we?